Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan, and we're sitting here in front of Cheever Field in Dr. Ben Owens Stadium, which we may as well start with that, which is supposedly going to open or is going to open next week
Next Wednesday.
when Hibbing hosts Aiken at 7 p.m. And what kind of lift do you hope maybe that gives this team to actually get to play on their home field one time?
Well, it can't hurt. And hopefully they'll be again respectable and they'll do their best. But it's just going to be nice to see a game actually being played on that field after the long wait period and the delays and everything else that have come about. But my understanding that it'll be free admission, so everybody is welcome. The food is going to have some free food for everybody, and they're bringing back inviting back the homecoming candidates, so they can actually experience that on their home field instead of over at Mountain Iron. But I think it's just going to be a nice day. It's supposed to be nice out, maybe in the 40s. Hopefully we won't have any of that white stuff we got today.
Surprise, yeah, when you wake up.
But,
Now, when you say free food, is it free concessions or is there going to be? I suppose if you wanted to tailgate, come out and tailgate.
Yeah, I just don't have any.
Don't drink.
drinks.
It is a high school event, remember?
Yep.
So it's kind of hard to bring alcoholic beverages to a nice high school
I just think
event.
that I know they were able to get some donations for hot dogs and buns and things like that. From some of the local vendors, Super One and Faboni's, I'm sure had pitched in, and so that stuff will be basically free for those that attend the game. And but don't attend the game just so you can get something free to eat. Come enjoy a football game, and whether they win by 2 or lose by a few, just come out and support the kid. You got to give credit to these kids. They have been beaten badly, but they still keep showing up for practice every day. So
well, they're working hard. It's not
that.
like they're not working hard.
No.
It's just things aren't going right. And I just got done talking to Sean today, and they've had a number of injuries, which doesn't help. I know that they started the year with probably no injuries, but then obviously in football they can accumulate as the season goes on, and then when you lose your senior quarterback to an injury, and he's also lost 2 other quarterbacks evidently to injuries, and now Nathan Gustafson, I believe is his name, is that quarterback's been there for a couple games now, and he's starting to pick things up, but I don't know if he was supposed to be there. So maybe he had other options other than Bryson, but good for Nathan for taking it over, and hopefully he has a successful two last games.
Yeah. Well, it's and I think that if you look at the support they've gotten from the student bodies and every event, it seems like volleyball has a good turnout, football. It's as we were talking earlier before the show started during our pre-conference, I forgot my notes too.
Our programming notes. Yeah.
But you mentioned that those are the 2 core fall sports for both the girls program and the boys program, and if those programs are successful and do well, the school year starts out pretty good, and then they can carry that into the winter sports. But the support is there, the enthusiasm's there, so now hopefully that'll carry over to at least a respectable or win if they can get it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and obviously their last game's on Wednesday, the MEA weekend, and you have playoffs after that start the next Tuesday. So, they have 3 games left, hopefully more. We're not going to discount them.
Yeah, they're at 2 Harbors tomorrow.
Yeah, 2 Harbors on Friday night, and then Wednesday, Aitken comes here to open that new field, and hopefully that gives them a jolt.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
All you can do is lend support and let them know that you respect the effort and that they continue to do it.
Well, other than that, the biggest, well, there was a couple this week, but the biggest one today is the tennis team is over in Virginia taking on Rock Ridge at 3:30 to advance to the Section 7 AA finals. So hopefully, we had Coach Conda on last week, kind of unexpectedly, but he was gracious enough to give us a couple minutes to talk about, they had the match coming up with Forest Lake, which they did win 4-3 on Saturday. So that was nice to see.
Yep.
One of those matches got a little bit contentious, though. It was all due to line calling. They judged their own.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe we talked about that. No, we couldn't have talked about that. But there was a little bit of contentiousness between the two players, and
That kind of like 3-on-3 basketball and call your own fouls.
yeah, I don't know. I was sitting there watching that match, and I was on the side, so it was kind of hard to see if balls were either on the line or out. But that made it uncomfortable for me.
Oh.
I mean, I didn't like seeing that, and I'm sure they don't like being a part of it. But something's gotta, they should have had line judges as soon as the first or second call was made. They should have put line judges out there to make sure that it got
Well, these
officiated clear.
calls go against or for Hibbing.
Well, I'm going to sound like a homer here, but yeah, I'd have to say they went.
Homer Simpson?
Some of them were called against Hibbing, and it's not that it didn't go the other way at all. I mean,
Okay.
but
Hey, win's a win.
that's right. And that match, fortunately, that match didn't. The match was already over because the second doubles team had beaten. It was 3-3. No, it was 3-2. Hibbing, and then that second doubles team won in a third set. So the match was decided already.
Okay.
So it didn't affect the outcome of the match at all. But you know what? It could have.
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, I want to bring up the names of the players because they don't need that. But it was good to see them win. But now they get Rock Ridge. Mentally, psychologically, I hope the Wolverines aren't in Hibbing's heads today because they have a chance.
Yeah.
But then, I've been talking with Gary yesterday about, the grand prize is getting to face Elk River in the section finals, and
They're top team in the state.
they're like ranked in the state,
Yep.
and so you're not doing yourself any favor by winning, but it's always nice to be in the finals. You can never go
sure.
wrong when you get
Yep.
there. I mean,
Yep.
that's your
That's
whole.
what you aim for at the beginning of the year.
Yep. So, good luck to them.
I'm just thinking about what would happen if they had a little disagreement on the tennis court. Do they throw their rackets down and jump the net?
Well, no, they're more civilized than that.
Oh, okay.
They might do that if you're playing somebody in a pickup tennis match and you did that, maybe you might have that opportunity. But yeah, no, they're more civilized, and they got through it. I mean, they don't sit there and scream at each other, but they question
Yeah.
whether or not the call was why you made that call, and then the other person doesn't answer, and then it causes consternation, and
Wow.
then the reporter gets
That's a
uncomfortable.
That's a new word.
Yeah, we haven't used that word on the air before.
No, we haven't.
We used a lot of other ones on the air
Yes,
before,
we have.
but not that one. At least it's not a 4-letter word.
No,
So-
I can't even spell consternation.
I had the privilege of driving to Grand Rapids Tuesday night
Oh, lucky you.
to go to the Section 7 AA quarterfinal game between Hibbing Chisholm and Grand Rapids, and I was walking into the stadium. The game was just a minute old, and Grand Rapids scored, minute and 10 into the game, and then and you know how many goals they always score in soccer.
Right.
But I sat up, did some work in the press. It was nice sitting in the press box though, watching a soccer game. I'll tell you, I can hardly wait to do it
Yeah, do it here.
over there because I could actually get work done sitting in a press box. So I was getting some other stuff done and watching the game, and no goals, other goals in the first half. Second half starts. Grand Rapids is controlling play for like 20 minutes. Hibbing could not get the ball out of their own end. Its own end, sorry. I got to say that correctly. But
We don't write it correctly.
then I do. I always write that correctly. So then finally, at about the 60-minute mark, Hibbing finally busted it out of their zone, and its zone. Sorry, that's 2 times now. But then the play kind of went back even, and there was about 3 minutes to go, and I wasn't sure if I was going to get the game into to Wednesday's paper because it was getting close to getting deadline time,
Yep.
and I asked the guy, the PA guy, how long are you going to be here? And he said, well, I'll be here for a few minutes after the game. So I started walking down to the field with about 3 minutes to go. And I get down on the track, and I'm walking toward Hibbing's sideline, and they break the ball up the left-hand side of the court, or the pitch, I guess, if you want to call it like that. And they put a shot in the box that looked like was blocked by a Grand Rapids kid. He was straight up like this, and you obviously can't use your hands.
Yep.
But the ball hit his arm. So I'm sitting there thinking, I wonder. About 2 seconds later, the whistle blows. There's like 5 seconds left.
Got a free shot?
They got a penalty kick with 5 seconds to go, and Luke Paquette just drilled it. So now it's 1-1. So now they're going into overtime.
Oh, wow.
So they play one 10-minute sudden death overtime period. And if they don't settle it, then they go to a second 10-minute overtime period. So now I knew I wasn't getting the game
Yeah.
in the paper. So I walked back up to the press box, and 9 minutes later, Grand Rapids gets a free kick from the yard. I mean, obviously they're playing on their football field, so it was on the 9-yard line to the right of Hibbing's goal, and so it's a 14-yard kick. And there's 2 guys. They had set that wall up. You know how they set
Yep.
that wall up? Well, only 2 Hibbing guys went into that wall there, and the kid from Grand Rapids bent it like Beckham,
Okay.
if you want to use that, I guess, and just lasered it into the net with like 58 seconds to go in the sudden death overtime, and that was it. So, but I'll tell you what, Hibbing they played well. They just didn't take advantage of their
Yeah.
opportunities. Now, I've talked too long. You can say something if you'd like. But I was there, so I guess, you really can't talk about that. But
Well, good
yeah,
for them,
no,
though.
so yeah, with 2-1, they got beat, so they're out, and it's unfortunate. They played hard, got the fortunate penalty kick, and
Speaking of soccer, you watch that reality show on TV called
is it Wrexham or
Wrexham?
something? No, I haven't, but it's
Got the-
got Ryan Reynolds.
got Ryan Reynolds and his buddy, and they're they're the owners of this team, and pretty interesting. But I still have a hard time watching soccer. I'm sorry. I just
Well,
do.
yeah, but I'll tell you what, for like the last 10 minutes of that game, it was pretty exciting to see what was going to happen because Hibbing had all the momentum, and
Yep.
Grand Rapids was kind of faltering a little bit, but then they got that kick, and that kid, I mean, he did the job.
Yeah.
So good for him and them, and congratulations to Gen 4 on the job she did this year, and so she'll be looking forward to next year. So girls soccer was beaten 5-0 by Denfeld. So their season's over. So that's 2 teams that are
They're done.
on the shelf right now till 2023.
So we got cross country yet and swimming, correct?
Cross country had their Lake Superior conference meet on Tuesday. The Hibbing girls beat Proctor 40-41. Now they take the top 5 runners where you finish, and then they add those scores up. So if you finish 3rd and 4th, that's 7 points for you. So
Okay.
then it goes like that as it builds wherever you finish. Gianna Figueroa was the 5th girl. She crossed ahead of the Proctor girl by like 1/10 of a second,
Wow.
which moved them up to that either 13th or whatever it was, and
Yeah.
the 14th, and that is what gave
Hibbing
the win.
Nice.
So they're setting themselves up for a good section meet. The boys actually placed second at that meet behind Grand Rapids by about, I want to say 13 or 14 points. But one of the Hibbing's better runners did not have a good day that day. I mean, I don't know why. I haven't talked to James about it. But he had run, I think in his last race, he had ran like an 18:15 over the 5K course. And this time he was up in the like 18:40s.
Oh.
So I don't know. I suppose bad days, runners, it's running, so you never know.
Yeah, we all have bad days.
Yeah.
Look at us too. Every
yeah.
Thursday, bad day.
Bad day. So, hopefully he comes back stronger, and then maybe they might have a shot at state.
Where are they held, do you know?
This region section's going to be here at the municipal golf course
Okay.
at the end of October, I believe.
Well, better bring your snowshoes.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It's getting a cooler out,
Yep.
no doubt. And then swimming hosts their True Team meet. Well, they host the True Team section meet Saturday. And that's the meet where everybody from 1 to 40, depending on how many swimmers are in each event, everybody scores.
Yep.
Because it's more of a true, I guess that's what the title says, True Team.
Yep.
So and then the winner there gets to advance to the state meet down at the U of M, and it's always a good experience to swim down there before the actual state meet.
Well, I've always said that in the past shows that when you go to a swim meet, you want to see some crazy people, man. They really get into it.
Yeah, and obviously we've talked about Venziano before. I mean, he's been in combined between girls and boys. He's been in it for over 50 years, and he's not afraid to try new things when it comes to training. So he doesn't do the same. I mean, it used to be where, okay, we're going to swim 5,000 yards a day.
Yeah.
And then as we get closer to tournament time, we're going to cut that down and taper you and get you more rested. But now it's more, he does more dry land training and other, I know he's done marine-like dry land training that they put Marines, the Marines through. So, good for him. I mean, he doesn't stay status quo. He's not afraid to try things.
And that's why his program is successful year after year after year. So, hats off to him.
Yep. So that about does it for that. So
that's it for the local scene. How about college? Anything?
Well, the volleyball team at the college is they're not going to make the playoffs. They have 2 matches left. One tonight against Itasca, and then I think one over the weekend. I'm not sure where that is though. But so they were under the gun all year because they only had like 7 players and no height, and but they worked hard and they beat Fond du Lac on Wednesday night. So they've won 5 or 6 matches this year. So good for them. Oh, we forgot about volleyball.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so, we actually mentioned it, but volleyball did beat Duluth Marshall on Tuesday, so good for them.
Yep.
Hopefully they can get some momentum going in their however many matches they have left. And,
well, I assume sections are coming up for them soon.
yeah, they would be, yes. I'm not sure when, but well, I'm not looking that far ahead yet myself. But
well, I didn't think it was going to snow today either. But
no, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they will hopefully build some momentum for playoffs. Back to the college now, they'll be done here shortly. From what I understand, this winter, no women's basketball.
That's a shame.
Because she could not get.
Well,
some players I think are just academically ineligible, but some of them. But she's got players on campus that don't want to come out, which is totally. I'll tell you, I'm 63 years old, and I wish I could go back and.
You'd be like that 49-year-old guy that played for the high school team.
No, he was playing for Botno or some Minot or so. I can't remember now, but it was a junior. Yeah, it was a junior college in North Dakota. So yeah, I mean, I would love to do that. I can't believe that they don't want to play.
No.
I mean, it's 2 more years. It's not. I get. I tried out for baseball when I went to UMD, and I was cut. after I thought I did pretty well, but obviously not. I wasn't in the good old boys club, so I didn't make it. But as I look back on it, I'm probably like, it's probably a good thing, because my studies probably would have suffered if I had, had to travel and stuff like that. I get it. It's hard on the grades, but
Yeah, but you tried out.
yeah, at least I tried.
You didn't sit in the common area and complain about what a lousy team you have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So it was that, but yeah, that just boggles my mind why they don't want to put another 2 years in. The ones that might be ineligible, that's one thing.
Yeah,
But
just to stay in shape, and I don't know.
But you don't. But now you don't know. Now So now they have to post, because I think Casey's going to resign from that position because she's just frustrated by it. She tried and tried to get these girls, and some of them, he had, according to their AD last night when I talked to him, they had 10 girls that had signed up to play and drop below 5.
Yeah.
So well, you can't play without. Just like the volleyball team playing with 7, you can't scrimmage.
Right.
Well,
Well, the men's program though over there, they had a deal on Saturday also too, because I was at one of the local stores in town, and the basketball team was handing out flyers to get people to come there. So
yeah, they had the Cardinal Madness. I totally spaced it out, but I was off, and I don't. Who knows what I was doing, but I would have liked to have gone there.
yeah, so I don't know how it went, but I just know that they are going to have a men's program this year.
Oh yes, and he has like 20 men out. Now some are gonna couple are gonna redshirt. One's maybe ineligible right now, so he'll redshirt. But he should have 15, between 10 and 16 guys out.
Good.
So, and he's told me he's only been a head coach this once, but on the other staffs where he's been a part of, he says this is probably like one of the better group of players that he's been around in his 10. Now he's young. But that's what you need.
Who's the coach this year?
It's Kenzie Kowarsh or something. I apologize if he watches this. I've never really asked him how to pronounce his last name, but
You will now though.
yeah, now he'll watch it. But no, he's a nice young man, and hopefully,
He's do well. Yeah.
yeah, we want him to do well. It'd be fun to watch some decent basketball up here. So that's that. So
All right.
where do we head?
Well, let's see. I told you last night I watched an NBA game for the first time, and that was the Timberwolves, who beat the Lakers. And I think it's the only reason I watched them, because
Well, yeah, I'm surprised you watch it because you don't like LeBron.
I don't like what he stands for. I don't like what he does. I just don't care to watch it. But yeah, they beat the Lakers, and without their 2 big men. I don't know what's wrong with the Cat.
Nothing. They're just holding them
Resting
back.
him, and then Rudy Gobert had street clothes on, so he didn't play. So yeah, they beat LeBron and Westbrook and all those big shots.
And,
So that was
Davis,
kind of nice.
Anthony Davis.
So that was kind of nice.
But did you listen to the broadcast at all?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Everything was the Lakers.
Oh yeah, they were totally kissing their
they're going to be the NBA
rear
champions.
ends.
Yeah.
I'd like to use that other word, but I think Ron might have to bleep it out.
What, ass? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Beep.
Yeah, I don't want it to be me to say it. That's all right if you say it. But,
Well, he is a jackass,
well,
LeBron. I can't stand the phoniness that he brings to the NBA, and unfortunately, I can still remember when basketball was basketball, when McHale and Bird and Parrish and Rodman and all those were games to watch because they were competitive, and it wasn't this let's throw it 90 feet down the court and shoot a 3. It just the game is just not the same. So,
well, and then and like we said, they were just totally kissing the Lakers all night, and then the subject of Draymond Green came up when he just knocked that.
cold-cocked his
I was going to say that too, but I didn't want to.
his fellow teammate, hey, welcome to the club, bam.
Yeah, and then the play-by-play guy asked the analyst, he goes, well, what do you think should happen? And he goes, well, I think they're going to handle it the way they should handle it in-house.
In-house.
And so but no,
The league needs to step up and suspend him, just like they should suspend that guy from Oakland who pushed that photographer over. What would happen if that were you and you were down at the Twin City Bank Stadium and some player pushed you
Well,
over?
you know what? I got a totally different.
Las Vegas.
Las
It was
Vegas.
Las Vegas, but
Did
I
I
got
say
a totally
Oakland?
different view on that. That guy should have never gotten his way.
He's credentialed.
Number one, and yeah, but it's a privilege to have those credentials. It's not
No.
a given
Hey.
that you should get those.
You got an entrance that's 10 feet
Well.
wide, and this guy's just doing his thing, walking, and this player comes by, and he could have moved over.
He could have he shoved the camera in his face.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Oh, he'll get $1 million.
I'm fine with it, but but some media guy did go on Twitter yesterday and say that. That's why I brought that up.
Okay.
He said it's a privilege to be down on the sideline down there, and this guy goes, I've been hit by balls, I've been run over by players, and all that stuff, and I have yet to file
Oh, it's because he
a
said that
lawsuit.
during the game, though.
And I just don't stick a camera in a guy's face when he's coming out
He
the
did.
field upset. Oh, he was doing that.
He didn't even. He was walking carrying his camera.
Yeah, I know. He was trying to get a photo.
I'm
with
not trying to
Davante
defend the
Adams.
guy, but these prima donna football, basketball, baseball
Well,
players today, it's just atrocious.
Well, he shouldn't have pushed him. Number one. That's
Pardon me?
I think he got charged with a misdemeanor.
Yeah, you got a misdemeanor, but
Yeah.
this guy will get $1 million out of it.
Oh yeah, he'll get his money, and Davante Adams should not have pushed him. I
Yeah.
totally
And
agree.
he'll go on the View, and they'll give their statement. And
So,
What
whatever.
about the Vikings?
all right, we got to talk about well. First of all, what are the Twins going to do? They're going to keep Sano?
I don't know. I haven't heard. They got rid of Jake Cave is gone,
Yep.
and
I think Carrera. I hope they bring him back. And not only is he a heck of a shortstop player, but they need his leadership in the clubhouse. So,
yeah, they can
but they
bring
got
him back.
they got a very young nucleus of players that, and they got extra. I think they said they got like 24 million to go out and maybe get a few people.
Yeah, but you know the Twins' history. They're
Well, that's got to change. They got those two guys now, those two new executives. You know.
and they're not getting rid of any coaches. They got rid of their trainer, but they're not getting rid of
Yeah.
any coaches.
Yeah.
Not that they need to, but I don't know. Their third base coach, I heard, was criticized all year,
Well,
but they kept him. And
Rocky Balboa will be there for a few more years. He's got a few more, just like the Rocky movies. He's got, Rocky 10.
Sequel.
and the Vikings now take
Yeah, we
on
gotta talk about the
Miami.
Vikings, yeah.
4-1. Everybody's down on them because they're 4-1, but you don't apologize for wins in the NFL. I mean, I
And
don't
then
care how
when
you get them.
as we mentioned, you beat 3 of the teams in your own division. That's what you got to do to win. I'm sorry, to make the playoffs. So,
That's right.
and I don't think Green Bay's going to win this weekend. If the Vikings can win, they'll give them a two-game cushion on them. So we'll see.
Yeah, we have been run out of time here a little bit.
That's
so,
why I stopped, because he said done.
But
All right,
hey,
thank you. Bye.
Thank you for watching. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Gimbetti, and we'll see you again next week.
Hibbing Public Access Television would like to thank U.S. Bank for providing us with studio space.